Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Barnstable This Morning. I'm Sara Colvin here with our arts correspondent, Melissa Chartrand.
Good morning.
Good morning, Melissa. It's nice to have you back.
It's nice to be here, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you. It's just like old days having you back here at the desk. So, you know, with the weather being so cold outside, it is so nice to think back onto warmer summer days, and especially warmer late summer days spent at Sandy Neck.
That's right. And of course, Sandy Neck Beach, as you know, is a beautiful time to visit year-round. But you had the pleasure of going out there this fall, and that's what our Sandy Neck Beach, that's what our arts and culture segment is all about, Sandy Neck Beach and the artists and the halfway house. And
Absolutely.
Tell me, I know that it was such a special time for you out there, Sarah.
It really was, Melissa, and I really thank you so much for letting me have the opportunity to go out there. And I think that what I love our viewers to know is that the halfway house it's wonderful. It's one of those old cottages. It's been there for a long time. I know the town really worked hard to rehab it, but it's very rustic.
Rustic would be a
very
good word.
I mean, it's got solar panels, but really no electricity, no running water. You really have to kind of fend for yourself out there, and it's just amazing. And it's nestled in the dunes. You look out the front door at the beautiful Great Marsh, and behind you is the dunes, and you can climb up in the dunes and just enjoy that beautiful 360-degree view. Really, nothing like it. And for for anybody, for writers, for artists, for painters, or anyone who just enjoys nature, it's just such a way you get a feeling of really being in nature.
Yes, absolutely spectacular. And you're really unplugged. You're really out there for the day, and you have time to reflect and find inner peace, and then the friendships that are formed with the others that are there. And in the 3 times that we've done this, we've sent out a group of artists that have gone, and in all sorts of weather. And you experience weather extremes, and that doesn't matter there. It just seems as if everything is just this magical bubble.
It really does, and you're right. I mean, we got out there, it was sunny, and then it started to rain, and we had to hunker into the halfway house for a little bit. But once the rain stopped, went on an amazing 5-hour walk through Sandy Neck, and really got to experience the marsh, the horse trail, the woods, the cranberry bogs, and you really get a sense of just how diverse the landscape is out there.
Yes, it's not just it's a whole different world back in there versus what I think most of our viewers maybe think of as Sandy Neck Beach.
Exactly.
So we took time, we had few of the ladies that had gone out with you, Nettie, Hoagland, and Sara Hunter. One is a writer, one is a photographer, and so and you join us. And Nettie does talk about it, but Sara as well also was so excited to find beach plums out there.
Exactly, and they made some beach plum jam, and they were the ones that stayed overnight. Sara, myself, and Nettie braved the unknown critters that came knocking at the door late at night, but it was certainly just what a great experience it was.
So thank you so much, and thank you for the opportunity for me to share this video.
Great, well, let's hear a little bit more about it here on our art segment today.
I'm Melissa Chartrand. I'm over here at Geyer Barn with, of course, Sara Colvin, a familiar face, and 2 other lovely ladies joining me this morning as well, Sara Hunter and Nettie Hoagland. And we're here today to talk about the halfway house that's out at Sandy Neck Beach, that wonderful cottage halfway out in the marsh to the lighthouse at Sandy Neck. And these lovely ladies all spent time there in September. And that's what I want to really talk about.
Great.
So Sara, let's start with you, because you had called me. Of course, this is a program, it's not open to everyone. It's a special cottage that was used a lot for Barnstable High School students to do some studying and so on. And the beach has opened it up for artists to go out and be able to spend some time out there. And it's quite magical, isn't it?
It is completely magical, and I am a children's book writer and a magazine writer, and my favorite topic is the Cape and all of the hidden gems, and the halfway house at Sandy Neck turned out to be the hidden gem, providing creativity, inspiration, friendship with new creative friends, and just an amazing backdrop for thinking about the next projects and so on. It was wonderful.
That's right. And as you say, you were right, it's for writers and artists and musicians. And Sarah, you took pictures there. Nettie, you did as well. And I think it's important for our viewers to know that just that. It was a group, some of you knew each other ahead of time, but there was a group of 7 that went out that really formed these wonderful friendships out there. Sarah, what do you think about that?
I thought it was amazing, and it's like, obviously I've known about the halfway house for quite some time, working for the town and having gone out there and covered events. And when you told me about the ability to be able to go out there and spend the night, I said, sign me up. I would love to be able to do that. Sand Neck is so beautiful.
She picked the best bed first. First one to camp.
First one to camp.
Got out there early, exactly.
Well, and it's definitely rustic. I think we have to say that this is not, it's rustic.
Right.
Yes.
No outlets, no running water, no power.
Right.
However, Nina Coleman and Chris Nappy, who, the park rangers out at Sandy Neck, I think made it as cushy as you could make a really rustic cottage, and they couldn't help it. There was a little gnawing going on in the middle of
Yes, there was a little bit.
Some little critter out there, but we had to feel like we were.
Well, you're in nature, and that's part of the
Exactly.
inspiration, as we were saying, Sarah, that it was so, I think that's part of the beauty. I think it would be a totally different experience if there were all the creature comforts. You really had to unplug and tune into your surroundings.
Exactly.
Did you think it was for staying overnight? Because to me, that I couldn't do it. It's a little scary to me. But do you think that it's changed your view or perspective having been out there?
Oh, absolutely. I just love, first of all, I loved the area. I loved the halfway house. So we had such fun. And being somebody who really focuses on nature, both landscape nature and birds and other little critters, I just loved it. And as Sarah said, it is magical. And when I take pictures of nature, I have to be still and very quiet for long periods of time. You wait to get the absolute best shot of birds and other critters, or you notice them and have your camera ready. And those are all the things that were possible, easily possible out there in this wonderful overnight.
And spending the night, yeah. I mean, it was the extended period. We wouldn't have had that incredible Hallelujah Chorus sunrise.
Oh my goodness.
That was just amazing that you all got pictures of, or that sunset with the 3 of us atop the
That was beautiful.
dune. And I think the overnight, and if you did it for more than that, I don't know if I'd ever come back. Because
Right.
I mean, it's the stillness and the being away and returning to the feeling of childhood, of timelessness, where you didn't have to go in until, the dinner bell or something. It was
Exactly,
really,
not worry about the responsibilities. And I think we got to see, too, kind of a wide range of atmosphere at Sandy Neck, because when we got there, it was a little cloudy. It actually started to rain for a while, and then we went out and took that amazing hike. We got to go down the marsh trail and then through the horse trail and kind of got to see not only the marsh, but the woods and the cranberry
Native
bogs.
American ruins and
exactly.
birds, and it's just another world.
And then all of a sudden the dune kind of shows itself in front of you, and you hike over it, and there's the ocean, and so it was just amazing. And then coming back after that, and then we all sit on the porch, and the clouds break, and there's a huge rainbow that comes up over the
that
marsh.
was
I mean, you can't
almost
ask
like
for anything.
Cue the rainbow. I arranged that ahead of time.
It's like, oh, come on, Melissa, really? A rainbow for us too? I know.
But it was really spectacular.
It was. And the 3 of us were the hardcore ones who
We did.
spent the night.
We did.
The others were day trippers. So I think we reaped the bonus of that, but it was also really fun, the dinner that we had with everybody bringing their food in and contributing.
Sure, that was a part of the experience, and that was arranged ahead of time. So then you don't know who you're going to meet, and
Yeah.
the connections made.
Exactly.
It was definitely a serendipity There's no question about it.
Absolutely. And just being able to hike up in the dunes and see not only the sunset, but then the glorious sunrise the next day. Waking up and seeing coyote tracks across the beach and just everything's
like a living
quiet
museum.
Right.
And I mean, I have been looking for beach plums since I was a little girl, and I have your jelly that Nettie and I made you from the Sandy Neck beach plum bushes because they were laden. And I mean, weren't they? They
really were.
There were bushes everywhere, and you can't find them anymore on the Cape. It was, every piece of it for me was just a return to real, beautiful basics of what the Cape must have been like hundreds of years ago. I mean, it reminded me of Outermost House by Henry Beston, or Thoreau coming with Cape Cod, because it was timeless. I mean, you're up in the dunes and looking out at that incredible landscape and the formation of the Cape, and
It was also really interesting to hear from the rangers the care that they take of that whole area.
Sure.
I love that. I mean, they take care of the turtles who come and lay their eggs there, and they cover them so they can't be harmed when they hatch. I mean, it's so heartwarming to
Ooh, every bird, I couldn't believe Chris Nappy when he was driving me in for the tour you set up for me to be the first one out to be able to tell everybody where the water and the firewood, and we're going along on the sand, and he stops dead in the four-wheel drive, the Jeep or whatever, and says, "Oh, the endangered, I guess they were toads or something. They were tiny.
Spadefoot toads, probably.
Yes, they're so good. The spadefoot toads in crossing. I didn't see anything there like this. I mean, they're so appreciative and careful. So you learn a lot as you're even, being educated about staying at the house. So.
And the time of year was amazing too. I mean, it's still warm enough to be able to walk around, and but it's empty. And I think when I think of Sandy Neck, I think about the summertime, and I think about RVs and people in their Jeeps and boats and colored umbrellas up and down the beach. And then the next morning after we watched the sunrise, took a walk out to the main beach, and you just look down and there's nothing. And it's quiet, and it's empty, and it's just really peaceful, and it's just amazing that it's hard to believe that just a few weeks before, even a week before, it was full of beachgoers.
It was amazing. I mean, we were really having some spiritual transitions too, because I mean, that Labor Day to me was always that just line when everything afterwards is going to change and you're sad saying goodbye to summer. So we went the day after, and it's just night and day from summer, and it was the best way to work into the next season. It was beautiful. And then Nettie and I were, besides working through our artistic inspiration, we're working through the loss of my dad, and who Nettie was married to for 13 years, and we're close. And it was a time of just spiritual reflection too. And so the transition for me from kind of summer and old things into a new adventure was really helpful and inspirational.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing. It really was that magic, as you say, emotional and spiritual. And we run this program twice a year, and certainly can accommodate, depending on the time of year, to send artists out to the halfway house. So hopefully our viewers will be inspired. It's certainly a magical place indeed.
Unless we beat you to it.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah, that's right.
I'm signing up for a revisit.
I know. I'm not sure we want to publicize this, right?
Highly recommended, though. I think that anybody in search of a little inspiration should definitely go out. And even if you're scared to spend the night over there, there's nothing, no boogeyman out there on Sandy Neck. Maybe just a little mouse that'll be scratching all night long.
Right.
But other than that.
Well, ladies, thank you so much. For more information on the program, you can contact us at highartsdistrict.com. Right on that website, there's information about the program and how to reach me. For you lovely ladies, I'm Melissa Chartrand, wishing you an artful day.